Well, welcome to the Chamber Corner, and we're really excited about the show that we've got going on today. Here, just a few moments, we've got a young lady, Chelsea Dixon. Is that right?
It's Haley Dixon.
Haley Dixon. I keep doing that. Okay. Well, Haley is going to come by, and she's going to tell us about the depot project and what's going on. And then let's see, we're going over to the UT Extension office, and some of the interviews. I know Trent Jones. We're going to talk with him, and who else? Who were some of the other people?
Well, we're going to be speaking with Myra Fisher from FCE, and another lady from FCE is going to be visiting us.
Brenda. Anyway, Brenda, I'm sorry I forgot your name, but anyway, Brenda, we're going to talk with her, and then we're going to talk with Chris Hicks.
Yes, and Mary Draper, I think she has a surprise set up for you over there.
Oh, man, that doesn't sound good. Anyway, I guess we'll go over there and see what's going on. Anyway, stay tuned with us. If you want to learn more about what UT Extension's doing and what's going on with the depot, stick with us. And a wonderful thing we're going to do right at the end, we're going over to the Basel farm, and we've got a surprise for you over there. So I guess this
I have a feeling I'm not prepared for this.
This is going to be an interesting day. One thing I would like to mention, we did ReadQuest at the Smith County Middle School here a couple of days ago, and they did a program over there. It was a wonderful program, and we've got an excerpt from that. And so before we go to anywhere else, we're going to go and take you to ReadQuest over at the Smith County Middle School, and then we're going to come back here to the depot. So we hope you enjoy. We're here at the Smith County Middle School, and they have a ReadQuest program that's going to start here just in a few minutes. And I understand Darth Vader is going to come out, and he's going to make an introduction. So we're really excited about that. I get to talk about something that I think is very good. They're talking about nonfiction books. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about was this book, The Sons of the Upper Cumberland, and it's about Cordell Hull and John Jordan Gore, a very distinguished Democrat and a very distinguished Republican politicians that were here from Smith County during that period of time. So we're looking forward to that. Miss Martha Holloway is taking care of the program and getting the festivities started, and I think they're going to start just any minute. And I heard the band doing a little practice, and they sounded awesome. So we're looking forward to that. Hope you enjoy. Thank you very much. Band is awesome. And evidently you have some awesome teachers around here, because I see that you're excited about reading. ReadQuest, when they asked me to do this, and I saw the Darth Vader thing, I thought, well, nonfiction, which I really love that, but then they explained it wasn't. It was a nonfiction, not fiction. And so one of the things that I wanted to do is introduce a book to you. This is a book that was written by Mr. Mark Dudney, who works in Cookeville, Tennessee. He's one of the local person, and it's called Sons of the Cumberland. And many times when we are living in a small town, a small area, we wonder about the impact that we can make on life. And I want to read something to you out of this real quickly. It says, Cordell Hull is the most accomplished statesman the Upper Cumberland region has yet produced, the longest tenured Secretary of State in American history. He was a Democratic congressman, United States Senator, chief architect of the United Nations, and recipient of the 1945 Nobel Peace Prize. John Gore is well less known, but an intriguing populist figure in his own right, a Republican trial lawyer and politician square in the middle of a Democratic district. His native ability and statewide political leadership propelled him to the federal bench. Gore served as the inaugural U.S. District Court judge for the Middle District of Tennessee. As young lawyers, Hull and Gore practiced together briefly at the turn of the 20th century. How did these men make this unlikely journey from the backwoods country boys to world-renowned statesmen and Article 111 judge, respectively? And what they did is they came from Smith County, Tennessee. There are only two people in the state of Tennessee that have ever won the Nobel Peace Prize. Do you know who they were? Al Gore Jr. and Mr. Cordell Hull. Not too many people in the United States have won the Nobel Peace Prize. Guess where both of them called their home? Smith County, Tennessee. Folks, you have a lot ahead of you. You may make a mark on the world. You may be the next big deal that comes out in the United States. You don't know that until you go out and try. And how do you learn about that? You find a nonfiction book about some of these people and you read about their accomplishments and you realize that you can do it too. Thank you. Wow, that was an awesome program, and these kids here, they're phenomenal, and I understand they're really doing well with their Read Quest. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed that, and now we're going to go back to the Chamber Show. We're here at the Carthage Junction Depot, and I have my depot whistle. If you want one, all you got to do is talk to us. We'll get you a depot whistle. Anyway, I'm here with Haley. Tell you what, Haley, tell them who you are.
My name is Haley Dixon. I'm an intern for the UCDD, and I'm going to help restore the depot project. I'm a student at Tennessee Tech in the housing and design field.
Okay, well now, what is some of the plans that or that you have for the depot that you've worked out with the committee?
Yeah, what we've worked on so far is today we actually had a contractor come out, look at siding to get the building looking nice. We have talked about flooring in there. We're going to restore the flooring that's already in there. And we are going to do the interior design as well, like redo the walls, insulation, roofing, everything, in order to make it an actual building to where you can go in and tour it and look at it and make it nice.
Well, we've had several people that have donated money to this here in the community, and I know raised a tremendous amount of money to get it moved over here. And you can see the piles of gravel here. Mm-hmm. We're getting ready to make the road go down to the river, and we're tying that into some of the activities on the Caney Fort. But
yes.
Now you're concentrating right now on the inside of the depot.
Yes.
and maybe just the immediate outside.
Yes.
Are you involved in the deck that's going on at all?
Yes, I am. I've actually talked to contractors, and they are giving us ideas on price points and estimations on what the decking would be to have it outside in order to actually access the depot.
Okay, so we'll be getting those, and I know it's kind of fluid on time frame because you got to get all of the quotes together,
yes.
and then we got to work on raising money and doing some grants and things like that. And I know you're working on all that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm actually working with Virginia, and we are doing the grants. We have the art grant, and we are currently getting all of our finances in order to actually place orders on all of the actual materials that we're going to need.
Well, that's wonderful. Is there anything that I have missed? Well, I know you're at Cookeville. You said you were at Tennessee Tech.
Yes.
And this is part of your degree. Is that correct?
Yes, I have to have an internship in order to graduate, and I should graduate in May after I get this under my belt.
Okay, and what's your degree going to be in?
I'm going to get human ecology, and it's the housing and design concentration.
Okay, this is going to be great, and I hope you're going to work in Middle Tennessee.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, we're glad to be here at the depot, and if you can see this is one of the new toys that they've got. When they open the gift shop, they're going to be available, and it's one of those little train whistles, so we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm here with J.R. Smith. He's a senior representative with the 4-H Club of Smith County. I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. Tell me kind of what your role is now.
Well, right now I'm a senior representative on the 4-H State Council. There are 21 of us from all three regions of the state of Tennessee, and we get together, and there are a few people that discuss 4-H Congress. Many of us get together to discuss 4-H Roundup, which is a lot of people go. People have areas that they're interested in, and they go and compete in those areas. And we all decide what they do, or help decide what they do throughout the week, and get things ready so that they can have a perfect week at Roundup.
Okay, so tell me kind of what a roundup would look like.
Well, is what you do is there are people that come and they have project areas that they're interested in, whether it be agriculture or theater arts or something, whatever that they do, and they compete in that project area. And of course, they find out the results. That's what they really come there for. But there are other things that they do throughout the week. We have a pageant that people come and watch, where the state council members get together and they put on a show. We go to Dollywood. That's one of the big things that we do throughout the week. And really, it's all about having fun and people seeing what 4-H is all about.
Okay, what are some of the interests that you have with this program?
Well, for me, it's public speaking. I started in 4th grade. Actually, in my classroom, and at first I was not very good at public speaking. I hated it, and I just spoke monotone. I looked at my cards the entire time, but throughout the years, I got a whole lot better at it. And actually, I won the state competition as a freshman and got to go on to nationals in Denver, Colorado, and compete, and that was an amazing experience. it's something now that I love to do. In fact, I'm going to state Congress here this coming up month, and now when I get up to speak, it's great. But not only with that, the public speaking has led me to do other things, such as theater, which I do here in the county, and I'm also student directing an upcoming play here. So that start in public speaking as a fourth grader has led me to do many other things that I love to do now. So,
Well, can you give us an update of what's going on with the 4-H group here in Smith County?
well, here in Smith County, we really haven't had too many meetings, but right now we're looking at doing 4-H, I guess you could call them a record book, and getting those ready for Roundup so that they can compete.
Okay. And did I hear you have a presentation coming up as well?
Yes, at Congress, I'll be giving my speech.
Okay.
So,
well,
fingers crossed.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Thank you.
Okay, now, Mary, we just went through some of the exercises, and I think they're going to show them here, but why don't you go through what we did and kind of explain what's going on, okay?
Okay, so first we did some stretches to increase flexibility. So we did the I love you stretch, where you just cross your arms and bring them gently towards your shoulder blades, and you hold there for 10 seconds. And then we did the tree limb stretch. So we brought our arms, one arm diagonally, and then crossed and put the other arm to the elbow and stretched toward our other shoulder and held for 10 seconds for both arms. And then we did the flamingo stretch. So we went to the back of the chair and just stretched our legs by holding them up. And then we did a desk stretch. So you could just back up on the desk, and then you get a calf stretch. And then we did some activities to increase our strength. We did a chest press, so you put your hands together as hard as you can for 10 seconds. And we did a desk press, which is also where you put down your hands as hard as you can, and we can do a reverse desk press, and all these are for 10 seconds. We did a quad squat, so your thighs, the top of your thighs should be parallel with the floor. We did the straight leg flexation, so you're going to hold that for 10 seconds, getting muscles in your legs. We did desk dips also for your legs. And we did push-ups, desk push-ups, but you can also do a wall push-up. So these are activities that you can do during the work day or even at school. And all these activities are from Choose a Healthy Lifestyle curriculum.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And exercise, you can get such a bounce off of that, even it doesn't matter what your age is that correct?
Yes, sir. Actually, all adults age 18 through 64 are supposed to get 30 minutes a day or 150 minutes per week. So I divided that 30 minutes for 5 days. And that includes aerobic exercises, which is walking, things like that. These exercises don't actually go towards that aerobic, but they do go you're supposed to do some for strength exercises 2 times a week. And there's no amount you're supposed to time them out for that.
Okay, well, this is stuff that you can do at home, like you said, at work or at school. Well, thank you very much, Mary.
Yes, sir.
And I guess we've got some more coming up.
I'm here with Myra Fisher. She is the president of the Carthage FCE Club. Myra, how did you get involved with FCE?
Well, I recently retired about 4 years ago, and one of my neighbors belonged to the Carthage Club, and she asked if I would be interested in participating. So that's how I got started.
And you worked your way up to president.
And I have. Somehow that's happened. And I'm also vice president for public policy for the county council for FCE.
Okay. Well, you stay awfully busy.
Yes.
Tell me some things that are going on with FCE right now.
Well, with Air Club, we try to support a lot of the local charity things in town. We have supported the Pregnancy Help Center. We've supported the Smith County Museum. We've helped with the Family Resource Center. We've also done things with Prospect. That's our main project that we do for our club. That we've done that for the last 2 years now, and that the people that attend Prospect are adults with intellectual disabilities that live here in Smith County. So we provide a monthly birthday party for them, whereas we take birthday cake, ice cream, and drinks, and once a month that way they celebrate the person's birthday that's actually that month. And then each year at Christmas, we provide a Christmas party for them. We do, each of our club members help and bake and cook an actual Christmas dinner where we have ham and turkey dressing and all the trimmings, and we buy gifts for all the clients there and staff. We usually get them all T-shirts for the clients and staff that match, so when they go on outings in the community, they can wear those, sort of like school type setting. We also make donations to them yearly for crafts and supplies that they use in the workshop. They like crayons, puzzles. We do lots of those type things.
Those sound like really great things you guys are doing for the community. Can you tell us kind of how you can get involved with FC?
Well, we would be glad to have new members. I'm actually with the Carthage Club. We meet on the fourth Tuesday of each month at 1:30 in the afternoon. And normally we meet at the public library. Occasionally we will meet at someone's home if they want to host us. But they can just contact the agent here, Mary, and she can give them the information on how to come to one of our meetings. We'd be glad to have anyone that's interested in joining our club. We're actually doing a recruitment for new members. Janice Lynch is our new officer in charge of that in the county. So we are pushing membership drive, basically. So we're hoping to be seen and to start having booths at maybe some of the events in town, like the William Walton Days in September. We're hoping to have a booth there for recruitment purposes.
That would be great. And when do you guys meet?
We meet on the fourth Tuesday.
Fourth Tuesday
Of each month at 1:30.
Okay. And you guys meet at the chamber?
Usually at the library. In the basement of the library.
That's okay. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for filling us in on what's going on in FC.
Well, one other thing we have coming up that we would like to sort of brag about or advertise, I guess, we do one fundraiser for us to raise money to be able to fund our projects that we do, which is usually through a yard sale. And that's coming up in April. It's going to be April the 8th from 7 until 4, and it's going to be at the Smith County Ag Building. And we will have a yard sale, a bake sale, and a silent auction. So we would love to have as many people to come and support us.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, we're still here at the UT Extension office, and I had asked Mr. Trent Jones to tell us a little bit about 4-H. But Trent, before you do, you went through our leadership program. What did you think of that?
Yes, sir. I got to go through that in 2013, and I actually encouraged my wife. She went through just this last year and really enjoyed it. Both of us grew up in Putnam County. I did, and she grew up in Wilson County, so we knew a lot about Smith County, or thought we did, but learned a lot about the history, the people, and just gave me a greater appreciation for the industry and the environment of the county. And especially since I do work with all the youth of the county, gave me a greater understanding of the people and that make up our county as well.
Well, I'm glad you went through it, and I would highly advise any of you to avail yourself of that if you can. But anyway, we're here to talk about 4-H.
Yes, sir.
And of course, Trent, now you run the 4-H program here in Smith County. Why don't you just basically tell us a little bit about it? How does 4-H work now? Okay.
Well, 4-H is very recognizable. We start off every year in September in 4-H clubs reminding kids or introducing 4-H to our fourth graders. And tell them what it is. 4-H is the largest youth development organization in the world, serving over 7 million children in 71 countries. So it's not only here in the United States or Tennessee. Here in Tennessee, we have about 168,000 4-Hers in the 4th through 12th grades that are enrolled in different 4-H projects. Here in Smith County, we have about 950 4th through 12th graders.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
a larger number than I would have guessed.
Yes, sir. And every 4th through 8th grader in the whole county goes through 4-H at some point with me, usually all the way 4th through 8th grade. Well,
I know it's probably hard to believe. You look at my age, but actually I went through 4-H when I was a kid, and I remember some of those things. We had a setup. Do you still do president or and vice president, song leader and all
We
that?
actually do. A lot of counties have kind of done away with that and doing more lessons focused towards the standards, and we still do lessons towards the standards, but I think it's very important that children learn that leadership and citizenship values from leading a meeting. So we elect president, vice president, and several officers, and they actually open and close the meetings and run the meeting themselves, utilizing parliamentary procedure and Robert's Rules of Order. So a great opportunity for them to learn leadership, and especially since they may be involved in something like your job or my job where they have to go to meetings. And
absolutely. That's a wonderful thing, and I've never forgot that, even when I was a small boy, I remember us going through 4-H and the agent coming, and that's been a few years back. So 4-H has been around a long time. What's one of your projects that is going on right now?
We have quite a few different projects. One thing that we do monthly, September through March, we meet with all of our 4th through 8th graders in schools where they do the speech contest, demonstration, poster, trash to treasure, photography, and several other contests. And that's in the classroom. However, outside the classroom, we have lots of other projects and groups that meet. Some of those are horse and livestock judging, where they learn to evaluate horses or beef cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs. We have poultry judging. The 4-H chick chain, they just picked up about 600 baby chicks here at our office last week.
Wow.
On 2 days.
Bet that was loud in here.
Yes, sir. And they raise those chicks from a day old up to hens later on in the summer and compete in a show for prizes and actually auction them off for money. And you're going to hear from one of our outstanding 4-Hers here today, Jason Robert Smith, but he's going to tell you about a few opportunities, some of those that he competes in, like 4-H Congress. Him and Grace Harville in 9th grade at Smith County High School are going to be state competitors in the public speaking contest at 4-H Congress here in a week or two. We have state 4-H roundup, academic conference, all kinds of camps and conferences. Other than just 4-H camp that kids can go to as well. So one new thing we're going to start this year is our 4-H archery group. We'd like to thank the Upper Cumberland CARES grant. We got $2,000 to start that program this year as well. So
they do a wonderful work around here,
yes,
seeding things like that. If you're with a nonprofit organization and you need some money to do a startup, that's a good place to look, isn't it?
Definitely,
Upper Cumberland, UCEMC, Upper Cumberland CARES. Okay, Trent. Well, if is there anything else that we need to discuss about 4-H?
I just would like to add that it's very important. I would like to thank the parents of the county for allowing me to work with their kids. The main thing we want to do with 4-H is teach them life skills, like you'll hear Jason and Robert talk about, and communication, leadership, citizenship, ethical decision making, to help them build a strong foundation for future success. So to me, I get paid money each month for my job, but it's not about the money. It's about seeing kids gain those positive life skills and making a difference in their lives. That's what really matters to us.
Well, what's important in our society is to have those building blocks in place. So we appreciate the job that you're doing.
Yes, sir.
And I think we've got some other things here at the UT Extension office, so we'll be right back. We're still here at the UT Extension office, and we've had some ladies drop by, and they're going to talk about FCE, and we're kind of excited about that. I know I have been involved in a few FCE functions, and they're really sharp ladies. I tell you what, introduce yourself.
First, I'm Brenda Eller. I'm with the Night Owls.
Night Owls, that sounds kind of ominous. Okay, explain that to me. What is a Night Owl, FCE Night Owl?
Well, first of all, we meet at night. That's why we're the Night Owls. And being here in Carthage, the Night Owls was just, to us, it was symbolic to our schools and different things. But Night Owls meet at night because of the fact that some of the people in our club work in the daytime, and that gives them an opportunity to be in the club and to participate. And it's just a community organization, and they're from all areas. It's not just from the Carthage area. You could be from the Gordonsville area. You could be from Pleasant Shade. You could be from Carthage. It's just the whole community of Smith County.
Okay, well, that's a wonderful thing, because I know FCE in the past has been basically during the day, so this kind of opens up for another group of people to get involved. Now, tell me, when you have an FCE meeting, what exactly do you do?
Well, first of all, we are flexible with our time also, because sometimes we meet on a Thursday, the fourth Thursday, or the third Thursday of the month, depending upon what is available to everyone in the club. Also, when we meet, we have a general agenda that we go by, which we have an educational part. We have, of course, we always have food.
Oh, we got to have that.
Always. And we have a part where the agent, the extension agent, will sometimes be there, and she will do a presentation. Our last presentation was on gluten-free products, and we did that. And I think our next meeting is going to be on emergency food kits, and then the next one will be credit fraud and credit freeze. And so each educational part has something to do with the communities and something to help us in our own lives and educate us.
Okay, well, now you mentioned the extension agent. That's Miss Mary Draper, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if they need deep information or they just want to find out how to get involved, they could call the extension office and talk to Mary. Is that correct?
Yes, in fact, and you can also pick up some flyers and brochures. Let me see. They're like these flyers at the Chamber of Commerce or here at the UT Extension Agency.
Okay, so any the information that they might need probably in that brochure. Now, where do you meet? We mentioned that.
Well, we meet at the chamber, our group does, but other groups meet at different locations to wherever they belong. For example, the Pleasant Shade community meets somewhere in that area. Defeated meets at their area somewhere. Everyone meets at different locations. But ours is at the chamber, and sometimes we meet at homes if someone chooses to have them at the home. In years past, in my younger years, it was called the Home Demonstration Club.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yes, and I remember my mother and my grandmother all belonged to the Home Demonstration Club, and I always thought it was a neat thing.
Well, I remember my mom having it. I just the one thing I remember about it is when the Home Demonstration Club was coming, we had to spit shine the house because she wanted those ladies to see it shining. Well, now, if you're doing these, you do projects and you do fundraisers and different things like that. Is there anything else that we missed? Maybe we need to mention.
Well, the fundraisers. Some of the things that we do for fundraisers, and some clubs do like. They'll do barn sales, or they'll do yard sales, or they'll do baking items, and they'll have bake sales. But we, as our club, what we're doing, and we're not doing a fundraiser per se. Fundraiser, we just all donate so much each month, and that way then. But we're also doing some projects that are some community-oriented things. And one of those things that we're doing is our educational Children's Reading Foundation. We provide refreshments for those. And New Milton tonight is having a Children's Reading Foundation, and it's for preschool parents and students who are going into kindergarten. And we provide the refreshments for them. Also, we did that chocolate extravaganza.
Oh yeah, I went to that. It was great.
Yeah, it was and all the clubs participated. And what they did is each club donated so much chocolate, and after they did, that was donated to the Relay for Life Cancer Foundation. So our club is beneficial in helping scholarships too, like the Jamie Evitz Scholarship, as well as other things. But that's the main thing. The new thing that we're trying to get out is the essay that's coming up next year for fourth graders, and we're going to do what is called the Fairness Essay. And each child in the fourth grade will have an opportunity to write an essay. And I think it's going to be $100 for number one, and that will be part of our FCE contest.
Well, that sounds like you're doing some great things here in the community. Really thank you for coming over. And if you want to be a night owl, you need to talk to UT Extension, and they can hook you up.
All right. Well, Chris Hicks from UT Extension and we are both over here at the Basells Farms, 300 acres of a working farm. From what I understand, we've got some grapes behind us. We've got bees flying over somewhere over there. I don't know what else they got going on here, but it's a pretty good operation. So I'm going to talk to Chris really quick just about some things going on over at UT Extension. So kind of clue us in on what's happening at the Extension office right now.
Sure, Virginia. Well, March happens to be Extension Month. The state of Tennessee has declared March Extension Month, so we're doing some various things, trying to get the word out about UT Extension and about all the programs that we provide. The reason we're called UT Extension is we are an extension of the University of Tennessee. There's a county office in every county in Tennessee, and we provide real-life solutions in agriculture, family consumer science, and 4-H youth development. We work with landowners, farmers, families, 4-H members, try to provide education and solve problems that might come up.
What kind of problems do you get faced with in the office?
Well, in my job as the agriculture agent, we get anything from weed questions. What is this weed? How do I kill this weed? Diseases, nutritional issues. We get a lot of questions about soil testing and fertility. During March, in kind of a way to celebrate Extension Month, we're going to be providing free shipping on soil testing, and we may actually show how to do some soil testing while we're out here at Basell's Farms today. But I'm glad that we're out here on a real life farm because we have an amazing challenge before us in agriculture. The United Nations says by 2050 we're going to have about 2.5 billion more people in the world, and so they're probably going to want to eat, and so we've got to figure out how to feed those people, and we've got about 34 years by my math to do that. So that's 34 crops to feed 2.5 billion more people. So producers like Mr. Basell and others are faced with a very daunting challenge, and hopefully UT Extension is going to be prepared to help them do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you also do some work with the Cattlemen's Association. Kind of update us on what you guys are working on.
Sure. Well, with the Cattlemen's Association, we've got around 100 members that come, and we meet with them. We have meetings where we try to provide education for them and help them and do farm visits and things like that. We do forage testing to help them get the most out of their forage. We do site visits and farm visits to try to help them with problems that may arise. And the Cattlemen's Association themselves are very active. They have a show every May each year. They have a cattle show to try to promote the cattle industry to youth in the area and get more kids involved in agriculture as well, because our population is aging and our farm population is aging, so we need to do whatever we can to get young people involved in agriculture.
Well, it sounds like you guys are doing a lot of great things with the Extension office. And I also know we're doing a Smith County Home Farm and Garden Show. This will be our second year doing that. And I know you've put in a lot of time organizing that. So maybe give us a little update on that as well.
Well, I'm just trying to keep up with you on the Home Farm and Garden Show. But last year we had, 300-400 people come
I believe
out,
so.
And several vendors. So I think we've moved the date till May. What day in May is that?
It's going to be May 7th.
Okay.
We kind of spoke with some of the farmers last year, and March was just a little too early for them to bring any produce out, and it was a little too cold, a little too rainy to get a lot of the farm things out that we wanted to see. So we moved it to a warmer part of the year. I think it'll be a lot better turnout as far as our vendors go, and I think people will stop by more on a nicer day than they would in a cold, rainy day.
There you go. It should be a good show. We'll have a lot of vendors and hopefully a good attendance there. It'll be fun.
Just one thing. I just finished walking the 300 acres. Wow. And I understand there's some bees back here. Is that right?
I think so. Would you like to go check those out?
No, but I thought Virginia would like to.
Well, she's dressed to impress, dressed to go check out the bees. They're gonna like her. They're gonna go right to her.
Yeah, Virginia, you up for the bees?
I mean, if I can find some pants, I will go get with the bees.
Okay, well, we're going to see Mr. Ronnie Basell here just in a moment, and he's going to show us his bee farm.
Sounds great.
All right.
Okay, so Virginia, one of the things we talk about in Extension and try to get our producers to do is take a soil test. We've been talking about that for years and years, and we still have some folks that don't do it as often as maybe they should, but we get a lot of questions about fertility and about weeds and things, and what I usually tell people is if you have weeds, you probably have a fertility problem and you need to do a soil test. So we're going to demonstrate today how to do a soil test. Now, this is pogo stick looking thing here is actually a soil probe, and when we're testing, we want to test in several different spots in the garden or the field or the pasture, whatever it is, then kind of mix it together to get a good composite of what we have. Now, we want to go about 6 inches deep because that's where the roots are, and you can see there's a little blue line, and that's how deep you're going to go. So see if you can get down there. You hit a rock. The one rock in Smith County, and Virginia finds it. You may just have to move over to a different spot and see if you can go 6 inches deep without hitting the rock. Go to the little blue line. All right, there you go. Yep. Now pull it out. All right, so we got a nice little plug. We'll put that in our bucket. There you go. And like I said, we're going to do that about 10, 15 places in this. This is a blueberry field right here, so we're going to go about 10 or 15 different spots and mix it together for one soil sample. And as I told you earlier, during March, since it's extension month, we will take care of sending that to the lab for free as far as the shipping. You'll just have to pay the $7 fee for the soil test. So,
Okay. Thank you very much.
thank you.
I'm here with Chris Hicks, and we're at Basel Farms. And Chris, I had a question that I wanted to ask you. I think it might mean something to the folks out there who are listening. What chemical or what should we be spraying for weed control right now in the month of March?
Okay, that's a good question. And like any good extension agent, I'm going to say that depends. Okay, that depends on the weeds that you have, and typically in this time of year we're thinking about buttercups and pastures and hay fields, and even in the home lawn we see a lot of the pretty yellow flowers. My wife thinks they're pretty. I think they're hideous because they're a weed that's kind of in the way. But buttercup is usually what we spray for this time of year. Thistles, cool season weeds like that. And usually that's a 2,4-D product, and 2,4-D is a pretty inexpensive herbicide that's effective on those. But really we'd like folks to come by and see us, help us identify what weeds they have, and come up with a control program that suits their needs and what weeds they have. Don't just go spraying stuff just because it's cheap or just because you think it will work. Let's find out what you've got, and we can help you come up with something that we're pretty sure will work. And I'll put in this caveat: anytime you're using a weed control product, a herbicide, or any other chemical, make sure you read that label and understand it. Make sure you're using it according to that label.
Okay, well now you may not know the answer to this, but there's a little blue flower that grows up like in the yard. It's real tight to the ground. So it's in my yard. What you're saying is the best thing I could do is maybe have you come by or bring one of these weeds to the office and let you look at it and identify before I start trying to spray on it. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. We have people bring weeds all the time. My desk stays covered in weeds and bugs and all kinds of different things. So yeah, bring something by, or if I have to come to Lancaster, I can make my way up there and come visit you.
Okay, well, folks, remember that Chris volunteered to do that, and he is serious. We're making a little light of it, but he really will help you if you've got a weed problem or you got a question about something like that. Chris, thank you very much. Appreciate what you do, and I know that you're stemming the tide against the weeds that are trying to take over, right?
We try to. It's a constant battle. Thank you, Bill.
That never-ending battle. All right. Thanks.
Okay, we're here with Ronnie Basel of Basel Farms, and we're going to check out some bees. Ronnie, what are you playing with there? What's the smoker deal there?
We got the smoker lit here to keep these bees calm and stuff like that. We're using pine needles today and stuff. What I want you to see here is the bees. Cody, if you can zoom in on this right here, some of those bees are practicing flying there. Those are young bees. They're just hovering there in front of the hive. Some of them are going in and out, some of them are just hovering. So that means they've laid eggs already, and this is the last day of February, which already tells me that's a pretty good swarm of bees right there.
So when they're out here flying around looking for stuff, what kind of flowers are they looking for this time of year?
Right at present, what they're looking for is henbit, a little purple flower that grows in your yard, and that's the first thing that blooms in the spring of the year. And a few dandelions. And there's some henbit right there in front of the hive, a little purple thing there. I can get this hood on. Now, I'm not an old-time beekeeper. I put my suit on. Some of them swear up and down they can handle these bees barehanded, but I ain't going to. And stuff. Now, when we walk up there, we're going to give these bees a few puffs of smoke. That'll tell them we're coming in. And then we're going to ease the top off and give them another couple puffs of smoke. And then we're going to ease down through there and start checking out for see if the queen has laid eggs this spring of the year.
So now what Ronnie's doing, he's giving them a little bit of smoke, and my understanding on the smoking is it doesn't hurt the bees at all. It just kind of makes them think there's a fire going on, so they need to kind of calm down and not waste a lot of energy, and hopefully they're not wasting a lot of energy being upset with us as we get out here and work these bees. right, Ronnie, you want to tell us what you're looking for when you open up the hive here?
Right now we're into the hive body, inner top frames of the hive. We got a little burr comb here. I'm gonna clean that off. And we're gonna pop up a few and see how much honey they have in reserve. That's what we're doing right now. This will be on the top layer. This hive, this small super here will weigh 40 pounds full of honey when it's completely capped.
So when they get done, that's going to weigh 40 pounds worth of honey. Just that one super.
Just that one super. And very productive most of the time. Sometimes you have some failures.
So now a hive this size, about how many bees would you expect to populate this hive?
Right now we should have about 40,000. In the wintertime they cut the hives down, population down to survive the winter. In the spring when it's going, that's honey right there.
So they've got enough honey at least to feed them and maybe some for you.
Not right at the present. Right here is what we left over from last year.
Okay, so we're still on last year's honey.
We haven't put the honey supers on yet. We better smoke them because they're getting
a little aggressive here. They're upset with us.
They're getting upset here. I see a little bee there's got pollen on. That's a good sign. It means we're coming in and bringing in pollen to raise young.
So this one here has pollen on him? Couple pollens in the little pollen baskets, they call them.
Yeah, that's what they are. I'm gonna clean off a piece of burr comb here. And we're going down one more layer to get in the main hive. We're hunting young bees. Ooh, that's heavy too. That's got a lot of honey in it. This is a very good hive. Very good. We got a lot of bees here. I'm gonna get this broken loose somehow or another. In a few days we're going to do a career day for the high school and stuff. I'm gonna take these bees for my booth operation.
So the kids that come to career day, they're gonna get to see these bees in action, but I'm assuming it's behind closed glass, right?
We made a new observation hive this time. Oh boy, there they go. Woo, there they are. Yeah. Oh, there's baby bees.
So we have baby bees.
Baby bees. Plenty of them. Don't see a queen yet.
Now, how long does a bee live?
21 days usually in the working season, but they will live all winter. Queen bee usually lasts 4 to 5 years.
Now, the worker bee literally works itself to death, right?
Itself to death. That's absolutely right. Don't see any queen cells. All right, everything's looking good. We got a good laying queen. So what we're gonna do is ease all this back together, and in about 2 weeks we'll put honey supers on here and start for our spring harvest. They got plenty of surplus honey, so we're good to go.
Now talk about the queen, because I know one queen does a lot of work, and how does the queen do her thing, and how do they come up with a new queen when that time comes?
All right, the queen will lay herself out basically, but she'll live and lay about 3,000 eggs per day this time of year. Daylight hours, warming up, starts to produce and lay more eggs, and the bees will start more. And when they supersede their cells, they'll make what they call a queen cell. They just make an elongated cell, and the only difference between a worker bee and a queen bee is that they'll feed a royal jelly for a little longer period, and that makes a queen versus a worker bee. That's how they do.
So you got 3 types of bees, right? You got the worker bee, you got the queen, and then the drone is important too, right?
The drone is the male bee of the house, and I didn't see any drones, and that's a good sign too. In a way, you got to have a few drones, but you don't want a whole lot of drones. Usually the drones are when the female bee is getting old with the queen bee. And one reason I use these small supers is because they weigh 40 pounds, and I'm not as young as I used to be, so it's a lot lighter than picking them up.
You struggling with that 40-pound super a little bit, so a big super would weigh how much?
80.
So twice as much. So 80 pounds, that'd be a big one.
That'd be a big super full of honey, so that's what we try to do.
I was hoping we could get Bill or Virginia out here, but they said they wasn't dressed to play with the bees today.
I believe they've came as far as they're going to come. And sitting here looking back here now, you can see a lot of bees coming in with pollen on them, little yellow pollen. Step around here, Chris, so you can see. See them, all that yellow pollen?
I don't know if our camera can see, but they've got a pollen basket that they use to carry that pollen just back and forth to the hive, don't they?
Right. So that's a good swarm of bees right there, a good hive of bees.
Well, Ronnie, we appreciate you being here and hosting us today. And anything else you want to say before we adjourn?
That'd be all, I guess. Glad to have you out here.
Thank you.
Well, we've had a wonderful day here at Basel Farms. We were over at UT Extension, and we showed the clip from the school. So we've had a pretty good show this time, showing a lot of variety. You want to tell some of the folks, I think there's a couple of things coming up maybe toward the end of the month. One thing I would like to mention, March 2nd and 3rd, which by the time this airs, it'll be hard to catch it. They're doing a career fair over at the Ag Center, and if the kids that are in school are going to get to go through and meet with some of the employers in the area and see about what kind of jobs are available. So that's one thing that you may just barely able to catch the tip of it if you see the show quick enough. And what else we got going on?
Well, up in Cookeville, they're going to have the Upper Cumberland Home and Garden Show. They've been doing that for quite a few years, I believe. And I think I heard mention of a barn sale going on at the same time, which is supposed to draw a little bit of a different crowd. And that's going on March 6th, and I think the weekend of March 6th. I can't remember what day that's on. On the 7th, we've got the blood what is that called? Blood Bank. Blood Bank. The Red Cross is putting that on at the Chamber again.
Right, Rotary Club, and they do it at the Chamber.
Okay. And it looks like we've also got a night of dancing and music at the Senior Center. That is new to the agenda. And the Great American Cleanup is on the 30th of this month.
Okay, so if they want to get involved in the Great American Cleanup, just call us at the Chamber and we'll hook you up with what's going on with that. Keep Smith County Beautiful runs that, trying to help people, to take pride in Smith County and, keep the trash off the roads. The Senior Center, they're doing something just about all the time, so you need to check with Jan. There was some other stuff here going on at Granville. Of course, the Sutton Store, they have a show there every weekend, and so you can go and see that. And let's see, March the 9th, 1930s in Granville, a life of challenges rather, and the antique car museum Pioneer Village is open. And then on March the 12th, John Tomlin and Company is at the Sutton Store. March 19th, they're doing Code of the Hills. That's going to be at Sutton Store. And Another Way Bluegrass Band. And then the let's see, April, that's on March 26th, Another Way Bluegrass Band. And then April, they start the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd and the 30th is the Sutton Old Time Music Hour. So they've got quite a bit going on there. So if you're looking for something to do over the weekend, Granville will be a good place to go. We'd also like to mention, too, if you're thinking about doing a little traveling, inside the Upper Cumberland or inside the state of Tennessee, we have these Tennessee vacation guides there at the Chamber, and they're absolutely free, and we would love for you to come by and pick up one of those. We also have the Upper Cumberland guide, and it's basically concentrates on the Upper Cumberland area, of which Smith County is a part of, and you can look in there and get coupons and things to do, places to visit. And then the last thing, or one of the last things to mention, Smoke on the Mountain. The play is going to be in April, and so get prepared for that. Mr. Bill Reese is putting a show on, and we think it's going to be a very good show and a good time. So we hope you enjoyed our program. Virginia, is there anything we missed that you can think of?
Well, I just wanted to correct you. I think the Smoke on the Mountain is in May.
It's in May. It's in May.
First two
I
weekends
said April,
in May, you
didn't I?
did. But just to get it right, it's the first 2 weekends in May. It'll be up at the courthouse that's been restored into a theater. So if you haven't been up there, there's been a lot of work done, and Mr. Reese does an amazing job with all the work that he puts on. So it's definitely worth getting tickets for.
And there's a lot of local talent involved in that. And you get the tickets at the drugstore, I believe, Smith County Drugs. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I guess we've had a lot of fun here wandering around Basel's farm. Don't get to sit on the rock fence very much, so it's kind of nice to be out here. This is a very beautiful
spring-like day at the end of winter. And Tennessee here is a beautiful place to live, and we're lucky to be in Smith County. I hope you guys are having a blessed day.